South Korean dishes. I can't. See, this is Carla's in my head, man. It's like, just get away from me right now.
Eating good.
안녕하세요. I'm Red Jackson, and I just greeted you in the Korean language.
Konnichiwa. And I'm Deborah Carroll, and I just greeted you in the language of Japanese.
And as you can tell, we're doing an Asian fusion today, and I can hardly wait to get started. So Deborah's going to explain to us, we're mixing not only just Korean and Japanese, do a little bit of Hawaiian in there as well.
Yes. So we're going to start with the Hawaiian tofu. And as you see, we've got our tofu cut up, and we've also gotten all of the moisture out. You want to take it and pat it and squeeze all of the moisture out, and now it's going to be like a sponge. It's going to absorb all these wonderful flavorings. So we're going to get started with a marinade, and I've got a nice vinaigrette here. We'll add that into our blender. We've got some Worcestershire, which I can never say that word.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire sauce.
It is a tongue twister.
Anyway, okay, I've got a little chickenish style seasoning. I'll put that in. A little pinch of cayenne pepper. You know, I like my cayenne pepper.
I think we put that in every dish.
Every dish, I love it. It's good for you.
It is.
We've got some nice chopped ginger.
Fresh ginger.
Fresh ginger. And I've got nice chopped garlic for you. And we're going to add that in. Got to get it all, I like all my garlic in. And we also have some fresh thyme. So all of our ingredients are fresh here. Now we're going to put this in, we're going to blend this up, and make a nice marinade. Wait until it stops. You got to stir that around some, but you always want to make sure that your blades have stopped. Otherwise, you'll have shredded wood in there with the spoon. Okay. Let's get that trying a little bit more. Okay, I need a little more liquid in here.
Okay, I will get you some.
Okay. If you want to get me, we want to make sure this blends up nicely. Okay, if you'll grab me a little more of our vinaigrette, I think that will help us get this all off of the sides.
I just happen to have some here for you. Let me put it in.
Just so handy.
Aren't I though? Anything when it comes to food.
You are the best. All right, let's try this again. Let's see what we got here.
Now that ginger really makes a very
You can smell the ginger.
Yeah, and I find that you use that. A lot of Asian cooking include the fresh ginger in a lot of their meals.
I'm gonna run this just one more quick minute because I really want that ginger to get blended. All right. Now, if you will grab for me, we've got a plate over there.
Got our pan that we are going to use.
Yeah. Be careful, turn that off. Okay, now I'm going to need a pan also. If you look, I've got a dish over there that we can put our tofu in first.
We don't need to use this then first. Sorry, I'm putting the wrong thing.
That's okay. That's all right.
This is a new one for me, so forgive me. I'm
take our tofu and lay it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that going to be enough for you? Because I'm going to need some.
Well, if you see, I've got 2 plates because I know you.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't know where she puts it all.
Down the hatch. Now, I love the plates that we're using here. These are called celadon, and I believe you can find them in South Korea. I love the coloring, and I know a lot of Asian countries use colorful plates like this as opposed to what we use, a lot of plain white. I love the history of that. Very lovely.
Now we're going to pour our mixture over our tofu.
Okay.
And then we're going to kind of work that in.
With your hands?
With my hands.
All right.
My hands are clean.
All right, I'm just checking. We always do
that. And we're going to kind of pat that into our tofu. And you want to get it in kind of pat it into the tofu. Like I told you, it's going to absorb like a sponge. So you want to make sure you get all that flavoring in. And let's turn it over and get a little bit on that side as well. And then, let's get that down in there. And then we're going to get our cookie sheet.
Okay.
You'll hand me that cookie sheet.
Now we can use the cookie sheet.
We have pre-oiled.
Okay.
And we're going to lay our tofu down on our cookie sheet.
Now, how long does this take in the oven? Because it seems like it's a very simple dish, which is really nice. You put everything in the blender.
It'll take 20-30 minutes to really
and we turn it over halfway
until it turns into a nice golden brown.
Okay. And again, what I love about using tofu is, again, you can turn it into so many different things just by changing the flavor. It absorbs like a sponge.
That's right.
And you really get with this Asian fusion blend of the ginger, you will actually taste all of these lovely flavors melded together and make a really, really delicious savory meal.
Wonderful dish. Wonderful dish. And it's very colorful when we finish it, you'll see.
And it's inexpensive because now you don't have to go to Hawaii, although I wouldn't mind, you know, if someone gave me some tickets.
Well,
like our producer.
I wouldn't pass up the chance to go, so we can take the show on the road.
That's right.
Maybe we can give a hint here.
Maybe, hint, hint. That's okay.
Okay, so
one day
we
we'll
got
make
this
it
going.
All right. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and pop this in the oven for you.
In the oven for me. Okay. Now, set this back here.
And we put this in at 350, so that, again, in about 15 minutes or so, we're going to go ahead and turn that over when we see, or it may take a little longer depending on your oven. Just make sure that it's a nice brown on the top before you flip it over and halfway through when it's being
now,
baked.
we're going to get our saute going.
Okay.
All right, which is the other side of this. Now, what I need to do, if you'll cut up an onion for me.
Okay.
Okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do since you're over there. I'm going to go on this side because I don't want to knock you. Here we go.
Now, what is this is also part of your
This is part of our saute that's going to go with our, we're going to put a little olive oil in here.
Okay. Can never have too many onions.
Just a little. There you go. Now you've got that going. I'm going to borrow this from you. I'm going to get my garlic going. We're going to saute our garlic and our onions. Let's see, I don't want that too hot.
You need a whole onion, Deb? Because I'm going to go ahead and cut this whole thing up for you.
Yeah, you
while I'm on a roll.
Go ahead and do that and just put it right in there.
You know, I always admire people that.
Can you smell that garlic?
I do smell that garlic.
It's marvelous.
It'll be on our breath in a few minutes. So
that's okay.
That's okay.
Let me get some of these.
All right.
I'm going to grab some of these and get these going. Okay.
Nothing like stirring up garlic and onion together to get a kitchen smelling delicious.
And you want to stir it up until the onions get a little transparent. There we go. And we got that going. Now, we're going to put in some mushrooms. And I'm going to put in a little bit of raw sugar.
And obviously we still want to continue with our healthy cooking here, so the raw sugar is better than sugar. I think that's enough onions.
I think we're good on the onions. Yeah. Ah, that's coming together nice. Okay. Now I'm going to put in a little bit of lemon juice. There. I think that'll do that. And I've got another little sweetener here, but it's a natural sweetener. Let's get that. We've got some apricot preserves. And that's going to give it a nice little flavor. Okay. Just a little bit. Okay. Turn this heat up just a little bit.
Did you want some more of that sauce in there?
I can use a little bit with my spoon.
My handy knife. I was thinking about you, so.
You see what a wonderful assistant she is? There we go. I think that'll work.
It'll make it much better.
Now you see you want to keep this going and mix this all up.
Now you can also, I mean, these are again portobello mushrooms, and feel free to use any type that you like. Shiitake are very good, and there are oyster mushrooms. There's so many different kinds of mushrooms that you can work with. But for this particular dish, we're going with a lovely portobello mushroom. It's delicious. Either way.
Now I'm going to put in a little bit of sweet and sour sauce.
Because sometimes you feel sweet and other times you feel a little sour.
You know? Need to turn this up just a bit.
Now this is going to get to a point where it's, is it bubbly? Is it just going to, you
want to get it nice and hot. You don't want it to overboil, you know, but you want to get it nice and hot. And then if you can, we've got our wok. I'm going to sit this here so this can start heating up just a little bit for our next dish. Okay, and then I've got some tomato sauce. We're going to put some tomato sauce in here. And as you can see, this is turning into a lovely sauce.
Delicious. I mean, you can taste it. I can just taste it right now.
I know. Keep your fingers out.
But if it falls in, I would have to lick it off.
She's always looking for an excuse.
We're going to also, I'm going to do my dish because I'm excited about my dish. I mean, I've made it a couple times. It's very simple. I'm going to do a stir-fried vegetable.
Wonderful.
And it's a dish that is so quick and easy. I love it. You know, my husband thinks I spent a long time working on it. I'm like, yeah, I did. Now, you know, so it really takes a long time. And what's nice about it is that if you're out of ideas, you know, and you have your vegetables that you have left over, you can also put them in this stir-fry. But for our Asian fusion, we're going to stick with the theme and work with some vegetables that are kind of on the Asian side. Great. So you want to start by, of course, heating up your wok. I'm going to draw my front wok in and just bring it into me a little bit.
Now while you're getting that heated, let me just add that the last thing that we're going to put in this dish is some nice peppers. So we've got a nice combination of our red and yellow peppers.
Those look so yummy.
Ah, yes.
And healthy for you too.
They don't need to stand there that long. You want them to be kind of crispy.
Okay.
Okay, so just get that stirred in.
Alright. Now, for my dish, Debbie, it's very, very simple. You have your wok, you heat it, and of course the purpose of using a wok is that it holds the heat a lot longer and a lot hotter. So make sure when you're using it, you don't want to obviously burn your pan, but you do want the oil to make sure that it's heated up. And I use the olive oil and about a tablespoon and a half in there, and we're just going to go ahead and let that get heated up, and then go ahead and toss in we have our peas, we have our fresh mushrooms, we have our mung bean sprouts, and we have baby corn, and of course fresh garlic that was crushed up. We're going to get started now. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to put my mung beans in, and my peas, and my mushrooms. Doesn't have to go in any particular order. It's just about getting all these lovely flavors in, and put in my fresh garlic. Put a little bit more mung beans. These are so good for you. I know you told me something about the mung bean before.
Yeah, the mung bean actually is a natural detoxant. So it's a very good thing to use to help detoxify the system. And you know, I wanted to mention you, did you know why they invented the wok?
Tell us why.
The wok was actually invented because back in several centuries ago, food and energy was very expensive. And so they needed to create something that would allow the food to cook quickly and to save energy. So hence they invented the wok.
Makes sense. And today, of course, it's used by everybody. I mean, you don't have to, you know, be an Asian cooking expert. Certainly we're not, you know. We're just two people that love to eat, and now we're combining a couple of different flavors from the East to get a wonderful meal. And we're doing in this wok, which is a really good way to cook.
Exactly. That's looking good. This is stirring up nice.
And this takes a few minutes. We don't want to overcook it, because you want, when you bite into these vegetables, to have a nice crisp taste that goes along with it. So we're going to do this for about a minute and a half or two. And then we're going to add our rice. Okay. Before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and put the paste in that we talked about earlier. It's a nice hot chili paste with garlic. Now, you know I like things spicy, but I'm not trying to hurt everybody with my spices. So we'll just do a little bit of that.
Little becomes much. And
we'll, please work that in for me. And I'm going to bring over our rice because that's going to be ready in a second.
And that's pre-cooked.